In today's video, I want to take a look at probably one of the most famous pieces of cut content in Cyberpunk 2077. We are of course talking about Metal Heaven. This place, according to the lore, was one of Night City's greatest music stores back in 2020. It housed a lot of instruments. They had a recording studio, they had I think a karaoke bar as well, all of this kind of crazy stuff. But in actual Cyberpunk, in the physical game, this place is well, it's not here, but it is here, and that's what makes it interesting. There's also a lot of other weird little tad bits of verticality that were cut from the game that we'll be looking at, so it's not just going to be about Metal Heaven itself, but you know, kind of the surrounding areas as well. But before we get into this video, a good portion of you watching are unfortunately not subscribed, and although it does kind of hurt my heart a little bit, I do understand everyone has a right to not subscribe. However, of course, if you enjoy the content, then please do consider subscribing. That would make me very happy. Thank you. That's all. Let's get started. So Metal Heaven is located right about here, right near the Corpo Plaza, in one of these incredibly built up parts of Night City that actually have quite a surprising amount of verticality. You can see that there's a lot of these walkways which are built sort of off of the main roads all the way above on like a first floor kind of level, and these places are actually finished and have a surprising amount of content to find. A lot of public walkways, a lot of means of crossing busy roads that are, you know, pretty akin to the real world, which is quite interesting. The reason I bring this up though is that verticality is a massive cut part of Night City. You know, this city was basically built to be multi-layered, to have the hustle and bustle of ground floor, you know, all the way down here, but on higher levels, you know, multiple levels of this kind of bustling metropolis, which we really don't see all that much. In fact, this is probably the only area where this has actually been implemented to like a full extent. So one thing which you will notice about Metal Heaven is that it's surrounded by a lot of verticality elements, all of these big bridges which spread across from a gun shop, which we'll get to in just a second. Before we get to that, let's just tackle the kind of meat and gravy of Metal Heaven. What's interesting about this place is that even though it's completely outside of the playable area, we of course still have NPCs that spawn here. We even have a NCPD crime scene which is here as well, and if we go up to Metal Heaven, we can see that it's incredibly low detail. Like, these textures are absolutely abysmal. However, there is a very interesting part of this building, which is this lift right here, which actually works and will take the player down. Okay, maybe not down. We'll take the player up to this level. This bit here though, inside Metal Heaven, is presumed to be some kind of garage, and this place is very, very empty. There's really not a lot going on with this. And of course we have this really strange elevator which just keeps going in between the floors. This thing, I don't know why this is here. I don't know why it works. I'm unsure. The door's too small, part of the floor's missing. It just stops and starts kind of on its own. I'm now stuck crouching again. I think this lift is probably the most interesting part about Metal Heaven. Just the fact that this big shell of a building, which is not used for anything, has this really tiny working lift that ironically works pretty much perfectly. So this is one of the only entrances to Metal Heaven, which is some kind of gate where, you know, the road does actually continue. And of course, if we pop behind, then we can see that even though there isn't any collision, this is the road which leads to this garage. Again, it doesn't take a fucking genius to work out that the actual, you know, guitar shop, the actual music shop itself was probably never implemented into the game. Why they decided to build the garage and have this working lift in between it, but then, for example, not touch the actual shop itself, anyone's guess. But that covers Metal Heaven itself. I mean, it's nothing to kind of sing and dance about, but it's absolutely still very interesting to look at, especially since it's not even really hidden. You know, this place is pretty much just slap bang in the middle of Corpo Plaza. So one interesting thing about this place as well, the previously mentioned verticality elements. So all of this up here is obviously outside of the playable area, but this does actually link up to a playable area. This part of the map is very strange to me. I've never really understood the purpose of this place. You know, you walk down this corridor and you're like, there is no fucking way I am inside the playable area right now. Like, look at it. there's literally nothing going on with this. However, it very much is. I mean, there's a gun shop right here, which is completely usable, and also to go down here, there is a working lift, which will take us to all of the different levels of this little elevated part of Night City. And look as well, Metal Heaven is actually listed on this board. So look, I'm pretty sure this place was supposed to be in the game. One cool thing though about this gun shop, which I'm going to show you, is that even though it's usable, there's this door over here which kind of glows green. If we were to clip behind this and walk a little bit down, then we hit some dodgy barriers, but ultimately what we can see is that there is a fully functional room down here, even with one of these weird projector things which used to be able to interact with. That's since been removed. There's even some kind of computer which isn't really working. And through this door as well, we can see that there's actually a firing range. Pretty goddamn unfinished, but a firing range nonetheless. You can see that even the targets are here. Look, Second Amendment, these are probably just ripped from V's mega building. I'm stuck crouching yet again. Why do I keep doing this? There is just this entire firing range which is completely fucking absent from the game. Why this is here, again, anyone's guess, but I think the most likely thing to take from all of this is that whatever this little promenade is here was supposed to be pretty big. I think it was supposed to have a lot more going on with it, especially since Metal Heaven is quite literally attached to it. It makes sense with the gun shop, it makes sense with all of these different levels which you can go and travel to. Look, we literally have 4 floors. So anyway, I think that just about sums up today's video. Guys, I hope you enjoyed, and if you found it interesting, let me know. As always, what do you think? Do you think that Metal Heaven was supposed to be in the game? Do you think it's, again, maybe just some elaborate set dressing? And the same goes for all of this verticality as well. You know, what the hell's going on with this promenade, right? There must be something. Let me know in the comment section of the video. Thank you very much for watching, as always, guys. Thank you for 20k subscribers as well. Plenty more to come. I hope you're enjoying your stay here, and cheers. I'll catch you lot in a bit.